How would I learn to code if I was starting over? Well, I would follow these 10 simple steps. And the first step is I would pick a language. As you can see, pick a language. For my case, I chose Java. Well, yours might be different. You can go with JavaScript or any other language. There's a gazillion number of languages out there. But I chose Java for my own reasons. Being I'm not just very good at design and I don't like frontend, so I just chose backend, and that's why I went with Java. And the next step is to learn the basics, which are things like the for loops, the variables, the whatever you know, arrays, all of that extra stuff. You already know every single language you do, you usually start with the basics. And do not skip the basics because they're very important. The next step is to specialize in either backend or frontend. Now, this one goes hand in hand with picking a language, with exceptions of different languages, like for example JavaScript that you can use with both. You can use in both backend and frontend. Well, I wouldn't go with JavaScript in this day and age. Reason being, it is overly saturated. Every single person is just learning Monster because it's way too easy. I'm not meaning it's too easy, but it's just very saturated and everybody's doing it. So in order to stand out, try to do something that's different. I'm not saying go and learn Cobalt and goddamn do some low level kind of languages. Anything that's way too hard or way too simple is not good. Just find something that's moderate and it'll help you. So not to really just go overboard here. Specialize. For my case, I went with backend. For you, might be frontend. Just choose what you want to do. Now, step 3 is build a project. Well, everybody says project-based learning, do this, project, all of that extra stuff. But then the next thing they do is just go on YouTube and search tutorials, right? How to build this. That's not the best way to learn to code. I would really refrain or abstain entirely from looking up any tutorials. Reason being, tutorials, they give you false hope of learning, right? You just follow somebody doing something, and after the tutorial, you feel like you have learned something, but in the end, you haven't really learned anything. So I wouldn't recommend following tutorials at all when you're starting out. Well, if you just want to find out something specific, like for example, Git, how to use GitHub or Git and GitHub and all of that, like things that are very trivial, you can just go to YouTube. But actually building the project that you want to use in your resume, do not use tutorials. So I would refrain from tutorials. I know it's hard, really, because you don't know anything. So how are you supposed to build a project when you don't know anything? That's why step number 4 is very important. Use ChatGPT, bro. This is I feel like in this, I don't know whether we're in the 21st century or I don't understand where we are, but we are at a point where knowledge is just very accessible, right? You can learn something that is taught in Harvard University for free using any LLMs out there, right? I just use ChatGPT. You can use anything, Cloud Code, Gemini, whatever you want to use. So use ChatGPT and ask as many questions as possible. Now, for my case, for example, if you look at building a project as step 3, and then the next step is to use ChatGPT, seems like, oh, why can't I just watch a tutorial if I'm going to use ChatGPT regardless? Well, the difference between watching a tutorial and using ChatGPT is that when you use ChatGPT, you get to ask questions that are specific to your use case or specific to your problem, in contrast to just following a tutorial that is giving you things that you don't even need to begin with. So when you use ChatGPT, you can ask a specific question. Like, for example, when you're building a project, let's say you're building a to-do app, for example, how do you store the tasks, the task names? What database do you want to use? All right. And what are the CRUD operations that you want to operate or that you want to perform on that, whatever application you're building? So all of that extra stuff you will ask ChatGPT. So ask as many questions as possible. ChatGPT should be your best teacher, not tutorials. All right, we go to number 5. Step number 5 is push every single change, every small change, push it to your GitHub, bro. I swear to God, GitHub is really like, it's the, I don't know if it's the meta or it's the way to go. Reason being, Git and GitHub in general, they just make you industry standard or they make you industry ready, right? I'm going to throw out any word out there. But in general, when you push your code or anybody that comes across your GitHub profile and sees your profile booming like this, they get to see somebody. For one, they can assess your knowledge. For two, they can just tell your tech stack by looking at your profile. 3, they can see that you really put in the work, right? So it's easy for them to try to hire you or just get you some opportunity, right? So push every small change to GitHub. Don't wait to have a whole application ready before you can push it to GitHub. Be it changing a variable name. Okay, that's too extreme. But let's say you create a simple feature like you added a post endpoint to your to-do app, push that code. And the next thing is deploy your app on a cheap VPS. Soon as you finish your application, soon as you feel like, okay, this my small application can be usable, right? A friend can use it. Go ahead and deploy it on a cheap VPS, bro. Don't be too cheap. Invest like $5 in a VPS that you can pay every month. It can help you deploy as many applications, like maybe 10 applications. And until you get on your feet, that should be enough for you. And when people see your deployed applications, you really look very professional compared to anybody that is just watching tutorials. As you can see, I have my applications that are live, and all of them are hosted on a $5 VPS. And these applications are not just simple applications, they are really big code bases with about 10,000 lines of code in both of them combined. Both of them combined will be about 30,000 or 40,000 lines of code, just backend lines of code alone. So that being said, deploying your application should be step number 6. Step number 7. Well, I have some issues here. As you can see, we have 5, 6, 7. We're missing 8. I'll add number 10 in a minute, but it is fine. It happens. We all make mistakes. So post about your app or progress on social media. Like, this is something that is very slept on. Everybody really just starts coding and they're just behind their computer all day and they're not putting out content. You don't have to be the next big streamer. You don't have to be the next big YouTuber, Mr. Beast, all of that. But letting people know your progress, it is very important. For one, they get to keep you accountable. 2, you get to have feedback, free feedback, because people are always interested in criticizing whatever you're doing. And for 3, you get to improve your skill level by understanding or maybe just iterating on your project, given the responses that are returned from the users or from the people that interact with your application or the ones that interact with you on social media. So that should be something that you shouldn't miss out in this day and age, especially. Number 8 is iterate on the app or progress. So that's just following step 7 or step 6. I don't know, I'm losing count, but following this posting about your app on social media, you need to be able to iterate on your app or progress. That means whatever advice that you get from the users, well, some users are funny. They might tell you, hey, add some AI stuff, anything that doesn't make sense. You need to have like a very sound brain to understand, like, oh, this is pointless. But 9 times out of 10, most people will usually give you something important, like, hey, there's something wrong with the form, or user emails, or user passwords are stored as plain text. Could you please handle that? And boom, before you know it, you're already learning now. Okay, yeah, I don't have to store user information as plain text. I gotta hash the passwords and all of that extra stuff. So I think this is not the last, but I'm gonna call it the last is repeat, repeat, repeat. Right after iterating on the app, repeat, repeat, repeat this entire process, but not going all the way to like step 10, right? Step 1 or this, right? Soon as you've already picked this, start from here, start from 3, and repeat this entire saga. Well, I said 10 steps, but actually 9 steps. If you want me to add any other extra step, I would say something off the top of my head is that don't give up, bro. That is it. You're gonna find hardships in building applications, but you just gotta be resilient, all right? And just be as resilient as possible, have a tough skin, and that's gonna do it, man. I'm out of here, bro.